How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another FPLijah video. Gameweek 11 is done and dusted and we're officially in the international break, but as you know, that doesn't mean that FPL now takes a back seat. The international break will be boring for those of us with one transfer available, but some of you have saved your wildcard and have activated it already for Gameweek 12. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. Today we're going to have a look at the best wildcard team in my opinion for Gameweek 12. But before we jump straight in, I thought I'd share a small achievement that was made aware to me by a mate of mine on Twitter at LemonheadFPL, and that according to FPL Research, who uses an empirical model on historical data, which means my rank history in FPL, as well as my current overall rank, that at the start of November, which was before Gameweek 11, I am now officially part of the top 1,000 managers to play FPL worldwide, which is roughly out of 8.6 million players. I was really surprised when I found this out. With the amount of time I invest in this game and have done for the 6th season now, it's great to know. Anyway, enough of that, let's get into what you're really here for, which is the best wildcard team for Gameweek 12. And as always, if you liked the video, please smash the like button, and if you aren't subscribed yet, please do. It really goes a long way in helping a channel as small as this channel is to grow. So this is my bus team at the moment heading into Gameweek 12. And as you can see, I've climbed from about 16k to just a little over 6k in Gameweek 11. And I'm just making my way slowly back up after not captaining the king against Man United a few game weeks ago. So yeah, it's going quite well. And this is my season thus far. As you can see, surprisingly, I've only been above 100k once this season, which is crazy. So I've gotten off to a flyer this season. I've already used my wildcard in Gameweek 8, and this is my FPL history below here. So let's move on to making that perfect Gameweek 12 wildcard team in my opinion. And we'll start off by removing the players that we don't want in the wildcard team from my current team, and keeping the players that I do feel we should have moving forward. So let's start by removing the players I definitely don't want in a perfect Gameweek 12 wildcard team. That looks good. Douglas Luiz, Havertz. Ooh, Antonia's out. So yeah, let's start with the goalkeeper positions. First of all, you have to have Ben Foster in your team. If you don't already have him in, what are you doing? Seriously, the guy is 4 million and he is playing week in, week out now. And I'm sure even if you have him, you would have likely benched him against Arsenal for his 11-pointer. But what can you do? That's what we have him in the team for, to call upon him when we need him. Like I'm sure some of you Sanchez owners may need Ben Foster for Gameweek 12 if you don't plan on getting rid of Sanchez. And my goalkeeper replacement for Ben Foster, you could go Ramsdale, who I currently have in my team. He's shown quite good form recently, both him and Arsenal. You can see in Gameweek 10, he's got me 10 points, followed by 7 points in Gameweek 11. The only problem with Ramsdale is that his fixtures aren't the greatest coming up now, but these games could be quite tight, could be 0-0. Arsenal could scrape a win, and you could get some decent points from Ramsdale. You could go for Sanchez. The only problem with Sanchez is that he will be serving his 1-match suspension in Gameweek 12 for getting a red card in Gameweek 11. So although he does have quite decent fixtures, he will be missing the Aston Villa fixture, and that will mean you will need the likes of Ben Foster to start. And do you want Ben Foster to start the next game week? His immediate fixture is against Man United, and I suspect Man United may want to come back after a poor run recently. So yeah, for me personally, the keeper I would go for is Gaita from Crystal Palace. And the reason for that being, he's 4.5 million, and my philosophy and how I play FPL is that I go very cheap in terms of my goalkeepers, and I get in a keeper pairing that offers the best value that you can for your money that you spent on them. Instead of spending your 6 million and stuff on Alisson, Edison, and your premium keepers, I'd rather spend that type of money in the defense for your fullbacks who could get you goals and assists, rather than spending it on a keeper. And I would rather get a goalkeeper from a defensively minded team where the goalkeeper is 4.5 million and he can get quite a lot of saves and a bonus every now and then with the clean sheet. And I would say Crystal Palace have a really great run of fixtures coming up. Look at this: Burnley, Aston Villa, Leeds, Man United. I don't know. Crystal Palace did one on Man City recently, so Crystal Palace is the bogey team in the Premier League. They've always been that team, and you just don't know what to predict with them. So if I were to pick any keeper right now, it would be Gaeta from Crystal Palace. In defense, I want to start with talking about Cancelo. Now, I know a lot of you have benched him last game week. I don't know why. Cancelo is just so attacking. And the one thing that I've seen on Twitter recently, if you'd have a look at your screen right now, is that Cancelo has had the most touches in the attacking third of any player in the game. And yeah, that even includes higher than Mo Salah, which is insane. Cancelo is a defender. If you don't have him in your team, I would plan on getting him in. And with this run of fixtures coming up, they aren't difficult. Everton, maybe West Ham at home is quite difficult, but even after that, they have such a good run of fixtures. I wouldn't be getting rid of my Man City players at the moment, like I'm seeing quite a few of you doing. So Cancelo straight in. Trent, well, how can you ignore Trent? You all know Trent, right? Trent does what Trent does, and if you'd have a look at the tweet by Andrew, it shows that Liverpool are the only team in the Premier League that have scored in every single game thus far. And if Liverpool are scoring goals, then you know Trent is likely to be involved in them. He's worth the money in my opinion. And next up we have Ben Chilwell. Now I know you're probably asking, why Chilwell over James? James has done better recently. I think James is the best, has the best points per million or something like that. But what I want to make you aware of is that over the next 10 game weeks, between the 20th of November and New Year's Day, if you look at Andy's tweet right here, there will be 10 game weeks in the next 40 days. The Christmas period is the most exciting time of FPL. It's where a lot of FPL managers will be caught out by missing deadlines. And you'd ideally need your entire squad to come in. There'll be loads of rotation from many teams in this Christmas period. So I would go for Chilwell over James, just because Chilwell is just slightly a bit more nailed than James at the moment. Chelsea have great options throughout the team, and with Alonso out for a little bit, I would back Chilwell. And we all know Chilwell has great goal threat going forward, so if I were to pick one of the two, being at the same price, or even if Chilwell was just 0.1 or 0.2 more than James, I would still spend that money on Chilwell rather than going for James, if I'm being honest. The next player that I'm likely to look at in defense, and it's why a lot of you are using the wildcard, and that is to target your Spurs players. And I would want to get in Reguilon. This is the type of player that you're getting into your team right now, not based on form, but rather fixture. Tottenham have the best run of fixtures coming up, and with the new manager bounce, who knows, Tottenham could turn everything around, scoring loads of goals, keeping a load of clean sheets, and I would want at least 2 of their players on my wildcard, and then have a look and see how they're performing, and then get in that third player. So according to the last game week, I didn't actually watch the game, but from reading a lot of the analysis of the game, I've seen that the fullbacks of Tottenham were very high up and quite involved in the game. So I would want one of Reguilon or Emerson Royal. Is that how you say his name? Let me just have a look. Yep, I think it is. Anyway, so that rounds up the defense. Oh no, we didn't speak about one player, and that is Valentino Livramento. Now, if you didn't get the man in while he was 4 million in FPL, why? He was a £4 million player that was starting and playing right wing back for a team in the Premier League. To me, that just says value, and I unfortunately had him benched for all of these points recently. 6, 6, 9, 6. I think he came on for me once. I think it was in Gameweek 8 that he came on for me, but I missed the rest of his points as he's been sitting on my bench. But I've had him in my team as cover for when I need him, and luckily, well, would I say luckily, because I've had a few players that had 1 or 2 pointers with Livramento on the bench. But yeah, it's good cover, especially for this Christmas period. If you don't have him in, what is his price now? 4.5 million. With these fixtures, at 4.5 million, you could even go for Lamptey, who's back from injury now. Brighton have a decent run, but so does Livramento. It's up to you. I've had him since he was 4 million, and he's the player I will be keeping in my team. So, heading into the midfield now. I will come back to Smith Rowe in a bit. Mo Salah, do we even need to talk about why you need him in your team? He's just gone up to 13 million in the price bracket, and I don't think I've ever seen a player ownership above 70% in my entire history of playing FPL. I think I did see a stat that said he is the highest owned player ever in FPL. So if you don't have the king in your team and you drop in rank, I honestly don't feel bad for you. Sure, you can go with a gut call, you can go for Mane, you can try and be, a bit cheeky and have a bit of fun. But we all know Salah, and Salah always delivers. So if you don't have him already, I'd try find a way to get him in. Next up is Jota. Now, he was my transfer in Gameweek 11. He wasn't my planned transfer in, but after Klopp's presser and Klopp mentioning that Firmino will be out for quite a while, I did see that he will likely be out for 6 weeks. That basically solidifies Jota's position in the team. And at 7.5 million, Jota will be playing out of position as a striker and possibly the best attack in the Premier League currently. As you've seen, Liverpool always score. And in every away game, I think, whether it's Champions League or the Premier League, they've scored at least 3 goals a game. So if you don't have Jota, I try find a way to get him in as well. But don't wreck your team for him just yet. With Arsenal coming up, it won't be an easy fixture. Although the previous few seasons, this has been quite a high-scoring game for Liverpool. So I'm quite happy to have him in my team as well as the perfect Gameweek 12 wildcard team, in my opinion. Next up, just like Reguilon, you just have to get in Heung-min Son. He's playing alongside Harry Kane at the moment. He's the furthest forward in that Tottenham team and playing basically out of position. We all know Son. He scores all the time, and if everybody starts to gel again, both him and Kane, can see a ton of points and a load of goals. So he'll be going straight into the team. And to round up the midfield, a player that's been going quite under the radar is Gallagher from Crystal Palace. It's a great run of fixtures. If you have a look at the tweet right now from FPL Osama, if you were to rotate Gallagher and Smith Rowe between Gameweek 12 all the way until Gameweek 28 and beyond, their fixtures are absolutely amazing. So with this team and how I'm setting up at the moment for this Gameweek 12 wildcard team, we'd likely go for a 4-4-2. And your 4 in the middle, you'll be switching between Smith Rowe and Gallagher for the next few weeks until you may need them both, with rotation and so on. Sure, you may get some bench points here and there, but with the team that we're selecting right now, you do need some bench cover. and a rotating pair in midfield is great. They're quite nicely priced, and both are in quite great form at the moment. Gallagher with a 13-point haul against Man City. If that doesn't convince you, nothing else will. Smith Rowe, I've been quite lucky myself personally that in game weeks 9 and 10, he came off my bench into my starting 11. And in game week 11 was the first time I actually started him in my team. And he delivered with 8 points. Up top, now this one is quite controversial in keeping Jamie Vardy. He's been extremely underperforming since I've had him in the team. He's gotten 1.2 points. So his form doesn't warrant getting him into the team. The only thing and the reason why I want to go for Jamie Vardy is his fixture run from game week 13. If he's ever going to haul, it's going to be in that run. And I want me a bit of Jamie Vardy in the team. So I would keep him. Is in my current team, the Klopp Tonight FC team. And I think I would likely keep him on a wildcard if I were to wildcard right now. If you want to go for just as one fixture, which is against Chelsea, which is quite a difficult one, you could bring in someone else. You could possibly keep an Antonio this game week and then bring in Vardy next game week. Yeah, you have a load of options. But if you want to set the team up and try and save a free transfer next game week, I'd keep Vardy right now. And yeah, just for his amazing run of fixtures. Next up, I'm sure you're wondering, why did I get rid of Antonio? Now, the scary thing about getting rid of Antonio is his ownership. It's currently sitting, I think, around 47%. Yeah, 47.7%. And if you look at the tweet that I showed you a bit earlier in the video as well, West Ham are only second after Liverpool and tied with Chelsea by, scoring the most goals in the league. Well, not scoring the most goals, but failing. What is the exact English wording? I don't even know what I'm saying. But games failed to score any goals in. West Ham have only not scored in one game this season, which is quite scary. But the disappointing thing is, it's not Antonio involved in the goals anymore. It's Bowen and Fornals. And after game week 3, everything just went downhill with Antonio. But what I don't like is their next few fixtures. With Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal in the next few, I'd want to bring in West Ham players from game week 18 onwards, and that's the reason why I'm getting rid of Antonio now. I wouldn't need to get rid of Antonio if I didn't think there was a great punt to go with. And right now, that punt is none other than Callum Wilson. With Eddie Howe being appointed as the new Newcastle manager, Callum Wilson, will we be seeing him back to his best again? We've all seen what he's done previously with Fraser, right? Have a look at the tweet from Laterizer. You will know that Callum Wilson, when in form, is a beast. And with this run of fixtures, I think it's worth taking the punt right now. Brentford, Arsenal, Norwich, and Burnley in the next 4. There's no better time to get him in than right now. If you just have one free transfer this game week and you have Ivan Toney in your team, surely this has to be the move for you. If you want to get rid of Antonio, this is the move. Yeah, that essentially sums up the team. And lastly, I just have some bench fodder in the team. Could be any player under 4.5 mil who you will not be using ever, really. With this team, you're set up to play 4-4-2. You'll have either one of Smith Rowe or Gallagher on the bench, and you'll be rotating them with Livramento as well. You be the judge of that and make that gut call when to bench Livramento, when to start him, because as you've been seeing recently, he's even scored a goal. He's doing quite well in terms of clean sheets, attack potential. Yeah, you're going to have to make that call, but in my opinion, this is the best wildcard team for Gaming 12. Let me know your opinions in the team and if you would change anything. I'm sure some of you are thinking, whoa, I expected Harry Kane in this team. Well, we could try and have a look at a team with Harry Kane in it right now. I personally wouldn't go for it just yet. It's quite a lot of money invested. And if Kane is going to be playing slightly deeper than Son, I would back Son and invest that money elsewhere. But let's see if we can get in quite a decent team with Kane and Son. I would think you'd need to get rid of one of Smith Rowe and Gallagher to fit in Kane. And you can't actually do this by keeping both of them. So you'd have to get rid of, unfortunately, Reguilon as well. You're going to go cheap in midfield. For your cheaper midfielders, let's go 4.5. Midfielders. Let's register 4.5. Let's just get in someone as cheap as possible, like Bissouma or your Brownhill, which I'm sure quite a few of you have in your team. At 4.7, you know, there's not even much options at that price bracket. But you could go for someone like Lamptey with some great fixtures, and you can rotate both him and Livramento up top. Yeah, if you want to go for, you know, Kane and Son, you're looking at something like this. But if I were to make that perfect wildcard team, I would not have Kane in at the moment, although I love Harry Kane. He's been one of my favorite players to own in FPL throughout the years, especially during Christmas. I just want another game week or two just to scout him and see how deep he's playing, whether Son is playing the furthest up top. We didn't see much from Conte's team yet, you know. Sorry, Antonio Conte. So we just need to watch them for a game or two more and then just judge how the team is playing. But my ideal team would not have a Harry Kane in at the moment. Well, if I had the money, maybe. But yeah, I'd want Reguilon, Son, and Smith Rowe in the team at the moment. And Jamie Vardy. So this team leaves 0.1 in the bank. I mean, you could spend it if you want, but why? You could go from Davis to 4.5, but there aren't much great options there if we're being honest. Some of you may want to go James instead of Chilwell. You already know my opinion on it. I would keep Chilwell over him. But yeah, this is the team I would go with. Let me know your comments on it. Just a quick update on the Try Smash FPLijah mini league. There are currently 5 FPL managers that are indeed smashing me. If you haven't entered the league yet and want to, the league code is on the screen. Join in on the fun and try smash me if you can. Anyway, I'll be back next week with my team selection video once we find out a bit more from the international break with regards to injuries and so on. I hope you're enjoying the mini break away from the game and come back fresh and ready for a huge green arrow in Gameweek 12. Stay safe and remember to FPL responsibly.